All right, open your boxes. You get a pardon, and you get a pardon, and you get a pardon. Everybody gets a pardon.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Donald Trump conducted and executed his first long-form corporate media interview today since being elected president, and it didn't disappoint. President Trump caused delight across my timeline when he said he would be pardoning January 6th political prisoners on day one. Trump will most likely pardon Capitol 6 rioters on day one, says January 6 committee members should be jailed. Hell yes. You're on notice. This is a new sheriff in town, and we're not effing around this time. This is, of course, to the delight of all of the internet and, of course, to the delight of J6ers. Now, I just want to flashback really quickly here to Mar-a-Lago. Right after President Trump was elected president. Again, we were there that week, and we filmed this. President Trump sitting at his table, and the first song he plays, he has this big iPad at his table to play DJ at his Mar-a-Lago club. The first song he plays is a song called Justice for All from the January 6th prison choir, where President Trump recorded a song with the prisoners that are currently being held in federal prison. They recorded this in jail. This was Trump's first song that he played for us that night. Everybody stood up to remember these prisoners. So I'm just telling you, we said in this viral post, President Trump has not forgotten you, this defiant message to January 6th political prisoners. We have not forgotten you. Hold on. Justice is coming. This thing nuked. It's got 7 million views. 137,000 likes. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we warned you this was about to happen, and here it is.
I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to be acting very quickly.
Within your first 100 days, first day?
First day.
First day.
Yeah, I'm looking first day.
Issue these pardons.
These people have been there, how long is it, 3 or 4 years?
Okay.
You know, by the way, they've been in there for years, and they're in a filthy, disgusting place that shouldn't even be allowed to be open.
Donald Trump doesn't end there. President Trump goes on to say that the people who created the January 6th hoax and then propagated it and lied and manipulated the January 6th committee before Congress and witness tampered, that they need to go to prison like Liz Cheney.
And Cheney was behind it, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee.
We're going to...
For what they did,
yeah.
Honestly, they should go to jail.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
Okay, so Donald Trump says that they deserve prison for what they did on the January 6th committee, and they do. They destroyed evidence, they witness tampered, and of course, they lied under oath. Now, would you direct your FBI director to put them in jail? What about the FBI director? Donald Trump answering very affirmatively in the name Kash Patel. Here we go.
Are you going to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done. And crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
So
that,
I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, "Oh, maybe it was shrapnel." Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so.
Alpha Trump mode activated. Speaking of Joe Biden and pardoning, Joe Biden, of course, lying to America for years about pardoning his son, and then he goes ahead and does it. Didn't care. Donald Trump was asked about pardoning himself in office. Very interesting.
Asked you last time we sat down for an interview if you were going to pardon yourself. You said no. But now that President Biden has pardoned his son, Hunter, are you reconsidering? Might you pardon yourself?
I didn't do anything wrong. I was given the option. And the lawyers told me, a very specific lawyer, I don't have to go into who, but very high up in the administration said, sir, if you pardon yourself, you're going to look guilty. And you did nothing wrong. Oh, I had that option. I could have saved myself a lot of legal fees. But it turned out that I was right. Look at what's gone on. Everything's being dropped. I still have a Fani Willis, a total hoax. That's a total hoax. It's all being dropped.
Fani. We don't deserve him. A lot of people complaining about this interview because they use these really short little snippets of Trump, and it really lets you realize how disruptive and how deceiving corporate media is. They snip Trump together, and so it's actually hard to do a full read on the interview because they only do like 20-second little sound bites. It's really, I hate the way that they put this interview together. But there were some segments that were certainly worth playing in their totality, like the segment on the destruction of the federal government and the corruption inside of it.
The president-elect is tasking Elon Musk, the billionaire CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, to try to cut government spending along with one of Mr. Trump's former primary rivals, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy. All of it putting a spotlight on what it could mean for entitlements and defense spending. You've tapped Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, to head up this Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
Which proposes cuts to the federal government. I think a lot of people hear that and they get concerned about Medicare and Social Security and
not
Medicaid
going to have anything to do.
And defense spending.
You
won't touch Medicare, Social Security?
Abuse, fraud.
Okay.
No, I said to people, we're not touching Social Security, other than we make it more efficient, but the people are going to get what they're getting.
Okay, so the entitlements
And
off
we're not
the table.
we're not raising ages or any of that stuff.
Okay,
No,
off the table.
I won't do it.
All right. So, of course, Donald Trump made this promise, and this was a campaign promise, so it's important for him to stand his ground on that. But the waste doesn't come from Social Security paying people like $200 a month. I mean, Social Security payments are nothing. The waste comes from the Social Security services and their union and the thousands, I think it's like 10,000 employees work for Social Security itself. That's where the waste come from, and that's where efficiency will be needed, and you'll be able to save trillions by doing that. And then the question that absolutely no one in the corporate press has asked Donald Trump, we're sorry you got shot. Remember the ABC News debate? They didn't even say, like, sorry you got shot. Not a single question on the assassination at all. We know nothing about the shooter. We know nothing about anything that's ever happened with Donald, the multiple, who knows how many there were. We know there were 4. There were 4 that have been reported on assassination attempts on Donald Trump. And finally, a member of the corporate media says, we're so sorry that it happened to you.
Things that made this campaign unprecedented and extraordinary were the horrific attempts against your life. 2 assassination attempts. Yeah. Do you feel safe going into the White House
I do.
for the next 4 years? Why?
I have confidence in Secret Service. I know the people. I got to know a lot of them, and I have confidence. It was a bad moment. Something shouldn't have happened, but I have a lot of confidence, and they've really stepped it up. They were restricted from giving look, I do a rally, and you were at many of them, and I'd have 50,000 people. Joe would have a rally, and he'd have 30 people, and he had more Secret Service than me. My Secret Service was always asking for more manpower / women power. They were asking for more and more and more, and they couldn't get it. I'm not blaming them, really, because they were always fighting for more people, and they wouldn't get. Now, boy, do we have it.
Okay. I mean, it's good to hear, obviously. It's what I want to hear. What does America want to hear? Well, the final question was, what is your message to the people who didn't vote for you, Donald Trump? Knock it out of the park. A picture-perfect tone here.
Ask you, sir, one final question. What do you want to say to Americans who didn't support you in this campaign?
I'm going to treat you every bit as well as I have treated the greatest MAGA supporters. There's never been anything like MAGA in the history of this country. These people are so dedicated to making America great again. It's very simple. And I'm going to treat them just the same as I treat MAGA. We're going to treat everybody good. We want success for our country. We want safety for our country. You know, our country's under threat, as you know. We have a tremendous threat militarily because of the power of weapons and weaponry. It's a tremendous threat. Nobody talks about it, but it's a tremendous threat. I want to treat everybody the same. I want to treat them well. And at the end of this 4 years, and I have a big head start because I was there for 4 years fairly recently. A lot of bad things were done during the 4 years that I wasn't there. And mostly in what they've done in terms of our reputation overseas. Our reputation is so bad, so shot. I got to bring it back. And I also have to bring back civilization to our country. Our country is a crime pot, and we have to get rid of crime. We have so many things to do. We have to do the prices. We have to do all of that. But we have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to bring down crime. People have to be able to walk across the street and buy a loaf of bread without being shot. And that's going to happen. But what I say to them is, I love you, and we're going to all work together, and we're going to bring it together. And you know what's going to bring it together? Success. I saw that just prior to COVID coming in, I had polls that were the highest anyone. McLaughlin and Fabrizio said George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back from the dead and they ran as president and vice president, couldn't beat you, sir. We were doing so well. And I was getting along with the left. Let's call it the left would be nice. Okay, we're just going to call it. But I was getting along with people that you would consider liberal or progressive, as they like to say, at levels that I never thought was possible. And you know what it was? Success. Success was bringing the country together, and that's what I want to do.
Success will be my revenge is the major takeaway line from Trump in this interview. Success is my retribution, and when you are successful, you can destroy the Democrat Party for the next generation, right? Like, you could make sure there's no swing states. If Donald Trump executes on these policies and executes on what he says he's going to do here in this interview, and if congressional simp, cuck, Republican senators don't get in his way and give Donald Trump the administration that he wants, and Republicans get in line and vote for what the Republican base wants, then we're going to have one hell of a rip-roaring country, incredibly popular 4 years, and it's going to be biblical. Ladies and gentlemen, love to hear this. Donald Trump pardoning J6ers. Let it happen. January 20th. Can't come soon enough. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.